Hello friends, welcome back to another video in my kitchen. I'm usually in here. This is my life right now. Today I have a pretty cool video for you. We are processing our turkeys and our buck that we got before season ended. We had some bags that we wanted to grind of him, so we just put him in the freezer until we had a big enough selection, I guess I should say, a big enough selection and a big enough pot to pull the grinder out, because it is a lot of work. I figured I would talk to you guys today about some other things as well, like a couple tips that I have that I'm learning might help you guys with inflation. It's helped me, so I thought that I would share it with you guys, because as we all know, the prices of things just keep on rising and there's really no end yet in sight for that. So any tips for me as well, leave them down in the comments. I would love to chat with you guys about this and learn from you guys as well. So my first tip for you guys today would be to buy in bulk. I know if you are not used to buying in bulk, that can be intimidating. It was very intimidating for me when I first started as well, but I've done it for about 2 or 3 years now, and I have to say it is actually saving me money, because some of the food that I bought in bulk last year when it was cheaper, I still have and I'm still working through. So I'm not paying the higher price of that product today. Some of those things have gone up $10 plus. So I'm very thankful that I bought in bulk last year and we're still reaping the benefits of that. If you're not used to buying in bulk, I would say start small by buying a whole flat of canned tomatoes. Those will last you forever, and that's a really good entry point into building your prepper pantry, if you will. Now, my next tip sounds like it contradicts my first tip, but it doesn't. Go to your local discount grocery stores and buy your canned foods there if you can get them at a better price than at Azure Standard or Sam's Club. Costco too, but I feel Costco's expensive. So I have an Aldi down the street for me. It's not the best Aldi. I actually rarely shop there, but I will go in there and buy flats of tomatoes, sometimes flats of beans, and any other like organic canned items that I can get my hands on. I'll go in there and shop from there, and it's cheaper buying them from the discount stores rather than from an Azure Standard or Sam's sometimes. You really, when you're building your prepper pantry, you really need to write down price points at certain stores, because if you try to just go around to all the different stores and remember, especially with the fluctuating prices, you're gonna forget what one place cost compared to another after so long. So it's good to just kind of keep a record of what you paid at a certain store for your food, and that way you're gonna know, am I saving money by doing the discount stores, or is it cheaper for me in my area to do the bulk stores? So this might be one that everyone already knows. I'm not sure. But my next tip would be to buy the packages of bacon ends instead of a regular flat package of bacon. Right now, bacon is so expensive, it's kind of crazy. But the package of bacon ends and how much bacon you get in that package is way more reasonable than a regular package of bacon. Now, you do get some more fatty pieces in the bacon ends package, but there are actually a ton of slabs of meat in there as well. We have found that it is by far cheaper, and that bacon package lasts us more days than just a regular flat package of bacon would. This has me kind of laughing because on this day, I was lazy and did not put my kitchen to bed the night before. And so I have a huge sink full of dishes. And while Michael is grinding some more of the meat, I started the dishes. And you'll see here in a minute that I have to stop halfway in between, go help package meat, then come back a little later to the dishes. This is just mom life on a homestead. Okay, now my next tip I think is very popular right now, which is great. I love it. But that would be to buy garden seeds and start your own garden. Even if you are in a small apartment, you can still grow a garden. They have amazing containers nowadays that fit in the smallest spaces. It's truly impressive, honestly. And when I was younger and I lived in an apartment, if I didn't have the interest for anything like homesteading or gardening, anything like that at that time. But if I did, that would have been a great way for me to start gardening and produce some of my own food. I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you are one that wants to be detached from the system or partly detached from the system. You want to be more self-sufficient. Having seeds on hand and growing your own seeds is a great way to do that. To go hand in hand with gardening, you could also grow your own meat. Raise your own meat chickens, sheep, steers, if you have the space for it. I know not everybody does. One thing most people I'm finding do have space for is a couple backyard chickens. That is a great way to get started as well. They'll produce eggs, but get you a bird, a dual bird, one that can do meat and eggs. That way you can produce some eggs, have them sit on them, then you can butcher those chickens and eat the chicken. I want to encourage you to at least take a step to doing one of these things that I've talked about with you today. Small progress is still progress, especially when you're not used to doing anything that I've mentioned. If you haven't done any type of bulk buying, or if you have never grown a garden, starting small is still progress. Just start. That's the key, is just start. I would say that it's never too late to start, because having the knowledge of how to do anything that I've mentioned will help you with inflation in the long run. But if you don't start anywhere and you just continue to buy everything from the store, then it's going to continue to put a little bit of hurt in your pocketbook, you know? I have to tell you guys, yes, we have a chicken in our dog cage. I think this chicken got into a wild gourd that was poisonous and she ended up getting sick. So we brought her in and tried to nurse her back to health. She didn't make it, but it just, you know, that's part of life on a homestead is things live, they die. It happens, but it just made me laugh that we have a new puppy in the house. We had a chicken in the pen. I do not like animals in the house. I love animals, but I don't like them in the house. So as soon as the puppy is old enough to be outside, he will be going outside with our Great Pyrenees as well. Right now, Michael is grinding our turkeys. We butchered our turkeys this past weekend and we put the meat from them into the freezer and just let them freeze overnight. And we've found that when they're slightly frozen, it's much easier to grind them up. So you can see that this entire day was a family affair. Everyone was helping out in some way. Jude, even though he's only 3, he was still entertaining my daughter, who is 1, and that was incredibly helpful. Logan is cutting tape strips, or before he was cutting the butcher paper for me. All the little things, the little tedious tasks are very helpful. Raise your hand in the comment section below if you hate saran wrap as much as we do. A tip for you guys that I actually had no clue about was when you're ready to switch meats in the grinder, throw some bread in it and it'll help clear out the meat and prepare it for the next meat. I thought that was really smart. So this all came out to around 80 pounds of meat. I am very impressed by that, honestly. We didn't even grind all of the buck that we got. It was only parts of it. That was 4. Then there was 4 turkeys and 3 ducks, I believe we had. We didn't grind the ducks actually. We did count them in the weight, but we did not grind them. We ended up just eating them that night. But 80 pounds of meat will go a long ways for us on top of the buck that I got. So I'm very happy with that number. I hope that you guys got something out of this video. And if you have any extra tips to help with inflation, just drop them in the comment section below. I love chatting with you guys down there and getting to know you guys. Until next time, bye guys.